Father George Salzman of the Harvard Catholic Center, St. Paul Parish in Harvard Square. Actually, we're on the other side of the Charles River from Harvard Square. We're here on the Business School campus. This is the Harvard Business School Chapel. We use it every Sunday at 8 p.m. for Mass for the Business School students. It feels like a bit of home. A lot of going to school is learning to make distinctions. You think of the old joke in high school that if it wiggles or it's green, it's biology. If it stinks, it's chemistry. If it doesn't work, it's physics. And if you don't know the answer, it's usually math. And in the moral life, we do that when we educate each other about our mistakes. And they're usually of two kinds. There's sins of commission. We harm someone. You think of the Ten Commandments, stealing or murder, God forbid. And then on the other hand, they could be sins of omission, that at the beginning of every Mass, things we have forgotten to do, omitted to do. And so that latter group is often larger and more many-sided, and what helps us there is the social teaching of the Church. Pope Leo XIII, when he began the social encyclicals over a century ago, talked about the fate of workers, no one looking out for them, where they were little different than serfs. And so how important that different countries eventually thought about unemployment insurance, disability insurance, pensions, and then eventually what Pope Francis has talked about, healthcare. And Pope John Paul II, St. John Paul II, always talking about solidarity, the matter of a union, and a union to guarantee these different rights. So the matter of a homily on Sunday is usually trying to help people see where a basic teaching of the Church touches down in everyday life. I remember being here sometime over at the business school some time ago and mentioning the following two things. That in the first world, healthcare takes up about 7% of GDP and everybody's covered. The system that we have at the moment, it costs 14% of the GDP, and there are tens of millions who still aren't covered, and the results aren't quite as good. And then I was giving an example. I was saying, you can think you can be unconcerned for others and live in a gated community, and yet someone can be outside going somewhere and catch something from somebody who lived in another gated community, God forbid a prison, and they didn't get good health care there, the poor soul, and so there they are, and they pass something on that's an antibiotic-resistant disease. And so at the bottom of the aisle, there were two people who wanted to talk. And one fellow said, "Father, what you said was wrong." I said, "Well, educate me, tell me how to correct things." And he said, "Well, Father, you said our country is 14% of our GDP is spent on healthcare. We actually spend 17%, and there are more people uncovered than you said, and the results are worse than you said." The other person was an older guy. He was an alumnus, a senior alumnus, and he came up to me and he said, "Father, what you said is true." I said, "Well, tell me what part is true so I'll know what to keep and what to throw overboard the next time." He said, "Well, we live in LA, and we live in a gated community. And my son went to the Wharton School, but he hasn't returned this year." And I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Well, he got a disease and he's been out flat in bed or on the sofa all day, and he's not been able to go back to school because he's so sick. And it was something he got from one of the workers that came in." It seems to me to create a vivid example, such as, to be frank, an epidemic does, that what touches anyone else can touch any of us, and how important for the health of any one of us to look out for the health of all of us. John Donne, the Dean of St. Paul's in London, made the point long ago in that famous Meditation 17. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a part of the continent, a piece of the main. If a cloud be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, or a manor of thine own or of thy friends were. Anyone's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind. So then do not send to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. The image is that of a funeral bell, and the image is that it's not simply the loss of someone else, but of ourselves as well. How important to make sure we have sufficient PPE for all our doctors and nurses and for all our truckers and grocers and everyone else, to be concerned about everyone's welfare as well as our own. Amen.